So today we're going to be using Fillout to update our Airtable records. It's a very common use case. We get asked about this all the time. So without any further ado, let's get stuck in. Alright, so as it is customary, we're going to start with a very quick demo of the system. As you can see, I've got a very simple events company, so to speak. I've got some events, Glastonbury, I've got the event map and whatnot. I've got the vendors, like my partners, ABC Corp. We also have Umbrella Company. And technically, what you want to do is you want to match the event with the vendor. Also, we're going to allocate the vendor role. So if somebody is doing security, they get the security role. If somebody is doing like fencing or something like that, they will get the fencing questionnaire. So let's kick things off. I'm going to add my event. I'm going to link a partner to it, let's say ABC Corp. And ABC Corp is going to be responsible for security, okay? And I'm going to add the other guys, the Umbrella Company, to be responsible for ticketing systems, okay? And both of them have different email addresses, and we're going to kind of like demonstrate that, but I'm just going to notify the partner because I require them to supply certain information back to me, because otherwise I won't allow them to participate as a vendor. And as you can see, I've got different questions. I've got one ticketing question, one ticketing attachment, and then I also have some security questions and security attachments, right? I also have a completed, like, they have to verify that this is it. And from there, as soon as it's verified by the team, so like, yes, the stuff that you've completed is actually correct, then they won't be able to resubmit this. And this is an important piece. So let's go ahead and check out our email. Here we go. Hi, Mike. You have been invited to participate as a security vendor at Glastonbury. This came 0 minutes ago. Please fill out this form. By all means, I will. So here we go. Welcome to Sonorus. Events Glastonbury 2025. This is dynamic. This is dynamic. This is dynamic. And then I have my questions, right? So are you good at security? Right? Which you wouldn't be asking this question, obviously. But if you say no, nothing happens. If you say yes, you have to provide like an attachment of some sort, for instance. So let's give them an attachment. I verify that the data is correct. Submit. Thank you. So now all of this data is submitted and the team internally can review this stuff. Now, I will also verify this. So if Mike needs to resubmit this for some reason, or they want to resubmit this and it happens like by accident, maybe they are not sure. Technically, we should actually send them a notification. So I'll keep that in mind. But if they want to resubmit that, that's it. Submission completed. If you have questions, please email us and whatnot. If I click on the other email that must have come through by now. I didn't even send it. Okay, so let's notify the other partner. Here we go. Jim, ticketing systems vendor. And the most important thing to note here is that it's the same form. It's just acting dynamically based on the role of the vendor. So yes, I'm good at ticketing, and I think you see the point here. It is just dynamic, just like it's expected to be. And that's it. We've got the data in here, verified by the team. And even if I now try to resubmit this, that's it, submission completed. So yeah, that's it. Now let's take a look at how the database is set up so that you can DIY this yourself if you want. Okay, so there's not a ton going on in terms of the database, to be honest. We have our events table, just a simple events table, nothing really crazy. The event map is there, and we have a link to the event partners. Event partners table is where we actually link the event and the partner, and we elaborate on that relationship, also known as a junction table. But we're going to talk about this in a sec. We also have our vendors. This is essentially the list of partners, right? ABC Corp, main email, main contact, first name, last name, and of course a link back to event partners. Event partners rather, is junction table. Like I said, there are a few hidden fields. Let me just unhide them. I think there's one more. Partner name. So here we go. We basically have one simple field where we're concatenating the partner and the partner role in the event. That looks like this. Simple, straightforward, nothing crazy. Link to the event, a simple concatenation of the event name, because when you're trying to map this back into Fillout over here, if you map the linked field, it gives you the record ID and not the name. So that's why I needed to create the event name and partner name to be like so, just like a stripped down version of that record so that I don't see a record ID. Simple as. Then we have main contact first name, main contact email, straightforward, nothing really crazy. We have our fill out link over here where we essentially get within fill out, and I'm going to show you in a sec, there's like a thing where as soon as you set your form to be in update mode, it will tell you what to copy paste inside of Airtable. So you'll have to create like a new field like I have done here and paste that in, which is basically what I've done. Then we have notify partner, which is our trigger for our email automation that goes out to the partner role, security, ticketing systems. You have your own partner roles. You have your questions, which we show and hide dynamically within fill out. We have our completed checkmark and we have our verified by team checkmark. Again, these checkmarks basically exist in order to facilitate certain actions, especially the verified by team checkmark that exists mainly for us to actually hide all the fields from the vendor so that they are not able to update their data. Now, having said all of this, let's jump in straight into fill out and discuss how that thing is set up. There's also an automation that I can probably talk about during that segment, but yeah, let's jump into fill out and see how that works. So here we are in fill out, and if you are DIYing this with me, just make sure that you start with make a fill out, then connect, choose Airtable, and then choose a theme and just go through this particular wizard that basically at some point allows you to select the right table. In my case, the right table is event partners. That's the table that I'm basing my whole form on. Because we've already done the form, I'm just gonna jump in straight into the form and explain how I've built this. So first and foremost, we have our title here, and I've used @ and then I choose the updating record option. Here's the thing, before we actually do this, it is important to note that in order to set your Airtable connection to update a record rather than typically create, because create is the default behavior. In other words, you submit the fill out form and a new record gets created. But we don't want to do that. We actually want to update an existing record. So make sure that you jump into your integrate tab and then edit your Airtable connection. Over here, just make sure that it gets switched to update record. And this is the thing that I was talking about. So copy this, create a new field inside of Airtable and call it something like fill out link, and just paste that in. That is going to be your fill out link. I've taken the liberty to use a concat rather than just a straight up paste. But the idea is that you get your, unique link, so to speak. You put that in the string department over here of the concatenate, and then you just slap on a record ID and you're golden. That's it. Let's talk about the rest of the fill out. As I was saying, first things first, I've just created a simple little title field and just mapped in my event name. Then I have my partner name and mapped my partner name from that Airtable updated record. Then this is where the real party starts. A key element on all of these grayed out elements is that I'm actually using conditional logic. And in the vast majority of cases, you're going to see the I verify that the data is correct is not set, because the vast majority of this form is to be submitted, is to be updated, so to speak. This part of the form, the submission completed, only needs to be shown when that verification is set. First of all, I verify that the data is correct, and verified by the team is set. Now, in all the other cases, you'll see that my conditional logic, verified by the team, is not set, right? So that verified by the team field is super crucial for us to hide all of these questions. Once it's verified by the team, that's it. We don't want any more updates done by the vendor. So much so that even the submit button has got that conditional logic set to it. So verified by the team is not set. Keep that in mind. Now, the rest of the questions are actually quite straightforward. I'm not really doing anything non-standard. I just drag and drop my questions from over here, drag them in there, add my conditional logic. So are you good at security? That's a security question. So my conditional logic is partner role equals security, and verified by the team is not set. Doing the same thing for the attachment for security questions. Same thing, but for ticketing. Same thing for ticketing attachment questions. But in the ticketing attachment and the security attachment as well, I actually have an extra layer, and I'm asking them basically answer, hey, are you good at ticketing? Equals, if it equals yes, then show me the attachment field. Again, just demonstrating conditional logic layers that you can apply to your form. And that's basically it. There's not much else. Don't forget to publish this as you're going along, because as you're testing, you will not notice the changes unless you publish. Had that a bunch of times. That's basically it. Simple as that. Now, let's talk about that automation that actually sends the notification to the partner. Very straightforward. Automations. Send an email when a record matches conditions, i.e. in my event partners table, notify partner is checked. Send an email. The email basically kind of looks like this. Now, the most interesting thing about this email is that I'm also using an image. It actually has like a little logo on the page, like so, which is kind of rare. Most people, when they're working their email automations within Airtable, they don't really put anything, and it kind of looks a little bit bland without a logo up there on the left-hand corner. I've just added a little image and then just said, hey, dear so-and-so, you've been invited to participate as a XYZ vendor to our event called whatever. Please fill out our questionnaire, and then I'm just adding the questionnaire below. Many thanks. That's it. Simple. It doesn't really have to be complicated. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this particular tutorial on how to use Fillout to update your Airtable records. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do more stuff on Fillout. It's a fantastic little tool. The more I use it, the more of a fan I become of the damn thing. So yeah, that's it from me. See you next one. Cheers.